only way we will defeat this outbreak is for all countries to work together in a spirit of solidarity and cooperation. We're all in this together, and we can only stop it together. This is the time for facts, not fear. This is the time for science, not rumors. This is the time for solidarity, not stigma. I thank you.
The challenge is great, but the response has been massive, and the Chinese government deserve huge credit for that response and for the transparency in which they have dealt with this. China is not only helping to manage the cases in its own country, but it is actively reaching out on an individual basis, not only to WHO, but to other partners in the world to help them respond in a more effective way. My memories go back to SARS, and we had very many of the same questions during the early days of SARS. Can this be controlled? Which way is it spreading? And at the time, I said we have to base our actions on imperfect evidence. There will never be enough information to make a perfect decision, but if we don't make decisions and act, therefore we don't take any opportunity. So this is really where science, public health and policy meet. Can we gather enough evidence and make good evidence-based decisions that are rational? And can we use that evidence to drive a public health strategy that can stop the disease with the minimum impact?
China doesn't need to ask to be praised.
Looking back at the effusive praise that's been given for China, has the Chinese government approached the WHO to ask it to stand up and say that China is doing a good job here? Was there pressure put on this organization to say those sorts of things?
For instance, the pathogen was identified at a record time, and immediately they shared the sequence. And when they shared the sequence, it helped other countries to prepare the diagnostic tools to test cases. That by implication means they have helped actually in preparing other countries and in preventing the problem from growing. Because when you don't test or diagnose, cases will be missed, and transmission will, local transmission can be established. There was a Chinese lady who visited Germany. I don't know why you said only WHO or few agencies, but we were in this boardroom for a board meeting, and almost all member states were praising China for what it did. China took action massively at the epicenter, at the source of the outbreak. It's a shutdown of the Wuhan city, and that helped in preventing cases from being exported to other provinces in China and the rest of the world. I know there is a lot of pressure on WHO when we appreciate what China is doing. But because of pressure, we should not fail to tell the truth. China doesn't need to ask to be praised. And I don't expect any country wants to be asks to be praised. It was not. It is not. That's the truth, the whole truth. And with my colleagues, we speak the same language, because we have seen these concrete things that should be appreciated.